Now let's look at the layout tab. So the layout tab helps you to lay out your page, how you may want it to appear, to set the margins, orientation, size, and columns. So we are just laying out our work. Layout is used to make a layout of our work, how it will appear. So you have margins, whereby you can use normal margins, which are by default. You have narrow margins. You have moderate margins. We have also mirrored margins when you go down here. Now, mirrored margins are used when you are setting a text box. So if you have a text book and you are going to print on both sides of the page, then it's better you choose mirrored margins. But also you have custom margins. Custom margins, you can set your own sizes. Like you can change the top. You have two types of margins. You have the top, bottom, left, right. So you can increase the top margin, you can reduce it, fit what you want, can increase bottom or reduce it to fit the size you want. Same applies to left and so on. We have orientation here, so you can determine your page to be portrait or landscape. Landscape is when the page is wide, and portrait when it is facing up. Then you can click OK. We have orientation here as well. You have two types of orientation, portrait and landscape. So you can change from either portrait or landscape depending on what you need. Then we have sizes. So this is the size of the paper you are going to print on. You can print on a letter paper. A3 is the size of a newspaper. A4 is the normal rim paper. A5 is half of the paper, and so on and so forth. You have different sizes. If the size you want is not here, you can go to more paper sizes. Then you can set a width of the paper and you can set a height of the paper. Usually we use a ruler to do that. You can measure the size with a ruler. Okay. Then we have columns. You can choose, you can put your work into columns. You can select a text and you put it into columns like this. If I select this paragraph here, I can come to under layout columns. So it is in one column. I can put it in two columns. I can put it a column on the left. I can put three columns. Now you are seeing this line coming in between, but there's option for removing it or putting it. So the option that governs this line, when you come to columns, then you click more columns. So under more columns, you can choose, say, two columns. Now we have option for line between. So if I remove the tick, there will be no line between. If I put the tick, the line will be there. Let me remove it. So you can choose the column to be on the right. Then I'm going to say OK. So I see now I have two columns, no line between. To remove the columns, again you select and you come back where you put the columns from. This time you choose one column. So that's how we work with the columns. Always first select the work you want to convert to columns, then come to columns, more columns, choose the number of columns you want, choose whether you want a line between or not. Now this one is the gap between the columns. You can adjust the gap between the columns. That is just a space between the columns. Then you click OK. Remove, select again, go back and choose one column. Then we have page breaks. We have breaks here. Now breaks, we use them when you are creating sections. especially when you need to make a table of contents. At times you may find that the first page has no page number, then the next pages, usually they are in Roman numerals, and then the pages of the body, the content, they are in the normal numeric. So here we use what we call page breaks. And page breaks, so you can come to a page like this and you create a break here. So if I create a break here, I will have created a section. So I'll come to breaks there. Then I'm going to click on the page break. So whatever was there goes to the next page. If I want to create a section break, I'll click where I want to create it. Then I come to breaks. Now section, these are the section breaks. Remember, I've talked about when you have to put a first page has no number. Then the next pages are in Roman numbers. Then the other pages are in numeric. So here we use section break, not page break. So section break is done which you do that. So you break your work into sections. There you'll be able to create a table of contents. We shall do that practically. You'll be able to create a table of contents with various sections, with various page numbers. Then we have line numbers. Line numbers, when you click on line numbers, continuous, so each line will be given a number. Each line is given a number. To remove it, you go back and you say none. That is just line numbers. In case you want to refer to lines and you say this line is this number, remove it from where you put it. Then we have hyphenation. You see that some words, when they reach the end and the word doesn't fit, automatically the entire word goes down. But when you put hyphenation in your work, automatic hyphenation, you said a computer cuts the word into 2 syllables. So like this word now, it has been cut into 2. That is what hyphenation does. To remove it, you say none. If I put it, it means my words at the end, if the word doesn't fit, it will be cut into 2 syllables. Okay, I remove that. I say none. Then we have indent. Indent. Let me get some text here to indent. Okay. So if I select a text like this, left indent, it means I'm going to push the left hand side inside. Then right indent, we'll do the right hand side. You push it inside, can take it back, and also take it back. Then we have indent before, that is before the paragraph, and indent after, that is after the paragraph, before and after a paragraph. This we also saw under the home tab. We had some indent there. And then under line spacing, we also had the before and the after of the paragraphs under the home tab. So basically, that is what we need under the layout tab. The layout tab we have seen, and that is how we lay out our page, how we want our page to look like. We have looked at the margins, orientation, size, column, breaks, lines, hyphenation, and indent, and spacing. So please go and practice as much as you can so that this become part of you and they come on your fingertips. We meet in the next video where we are going to look at mail merge.